and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of GFreak Speaks, episode number 20. This podcast is sponsored by absolutely nobody at the moment, but if you guys want to sponsor the podcast, make sure to jump on board. You guys will have a segment at the start of the podcast as well as the middle of the podcast, and you can find this on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube for all the visuals at GFreak Speaks. But ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Patrick, WARTURTLE GLEESON. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good, man. Pretty good.
It's good to have you on board, man. It's good to have you just kicking back there, very relaxed. Love to see it.
Come chill for a bit.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Hey, so let's dive into it, man. Where did it all begin for you, buddy? Where did gaming begin? Where did you first touch your hands on controllers or keyboard and mouse?
I think the first ever game I did play was like on a shitty old like Dell computer in like 2005.
Yeah.
My parents' one, and it was like Star Wars Empire War, like an RTS game.
Yep.
Like I don't know, like I don't know how I got it. I don't think it was the full game. I think it was like one of the demo discs.
Yeah. From like the cereal box.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you remember those
like,
games, man? That were
oh my god.
So good, bro. The Age of Empires one.
Bloody hell. I actually found that the other day. Like I was just cleaning out some old shit. Yeah, I found an Age of Empires demo disc. I was like, what the yeah.
That's like ancient, man. That's like 2005, do you reckon? What do you reckon?
Yeah. 2005, 2004.
Yeah.
Gotta get that shit framed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
sign that shit up.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, back to what you're saying, man.
So yeah, no, I don't know, that's where I first touched gaming. I had a PS2 for like a few years after that. And I had that for quite some time, like till maybe 2014. I don't know exactly when, but like I was quite late getting to like the current generation of the consoles at the time, like PS3, Xboxes. Like I didn't even know what the fuck online was at that point.
Yeah.
Like I can swear, right?
Yeah, go for it, man. Just let it hang, let it loose.
Perfect.
Just try. Let's no C bombs though. No C Lardens. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Let's go.
Yeah. So I was just I got the PS3, discovered what online was. Like the first online FPS game I ever played was like COD, obviously.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's everyone's around this generation. Fell in love with like gaming and shooters really there.
Yep.
Then a few years go by, spent a bit of time like on the PS4, played a bit of Destiny, a bit more COD. Few years, like I saw Rust initially, then I built a computer, played on my laptop, like, and it barely ran, so I was like, screw it, saved up some money, built a computer. And the first day I built that computer, going to Siege. It was a bit of a love-hate relationship at first. Like, back then, I'm sure like a lot of people know the story of Siege. Like, when it came out, it was a mess. Like, cheaters were rampant, there was no anti-cheat. Like, it was just, the game was dying from launch.
Yeah.
So, I stuck around for a bit.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Yeah. Stuck around for a bit, enjoyed the game, but, like, eventually moved on. Came back just on a whim because I was honestly bored, like during one summer holidays, and got into it again. And then randomly one day, like when I was just playing ranked solo queue, got an offer from this guy on the other team if I wanted to come play comp. Like that was probably my first like experience with esports as well.
When was that?
2016.
So the game came out in 15, yeah?
Yeah, end of 15.
Yeah.
So about 8-9 months later.
Okay, so 9 months later, you're back on the scene, and some random guy asks you to jump on their team. Who is it? They still around?
Nah, and if you asked me the name, I would not remember.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, okay. It was a very brief moment. Like probably the most. Like I was on there for like I don't know, probably a few days. Then I met this other guy called Broken. He's actually a little bit around the scene. Like I think he's doing admin stuff for LPL now.
Yep.
But yeah, so I joined his team for a bit, and then started my own. Spent a bit of time, floating around the under 18 scene because Pro League is over 18. Hit 18. This is probably like late 2018, early 2019. Just starting uni, and I get an offer to be a coach for what would become Cryptic, which was a NZPL team, and we kind of bombed out,
Yeah.
My first actual official game was against what would be my next roster, my most recent roster, the current Chiefs roster. We lost them pretty convincingly. I want to say they beat us 7-1. Not
Damn.
ideal as for a first showing, but
that hurts, bro. Is that no? It's best of 7, yeah. First of 7.
yeah, first to
Is
seven.
it like
first to
tennis?
seven.
Do you have to have like a 2 lead? Like is it 5-7 or 6-7, and then it goes into OT?
Yeah, so if it goes 6-6, it goes to OT,
Okay.
and then yeah, it goes.
It's only one round after the 6-6.
You have to get two. So yeah, it can go. You have to get first to 8 rounds.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so he spent a bit of time there. Bombed out, got relegated to Pro League, failed to qualify for Six Masters LAN, even though you only had to be one team to do it.
Yep.
Failed to re-qualify for Pro League through Challenger League, which is like the lower tier league, which has happened after every stage. And I was like, yeah, I was ready to call. I was like, I don't know. And then I actually got a message from the coach of the team at the time, Cynics, who they were under oddity at the time, about to expire that contract, if I'd wanted to come join them as like an analyst.
Yep.
Of course I said yes. Like these guys were top 3 team in the region at the time. I didn't really know any of them, but I was like not going to say no to this opportunity even though I was about to hang it up. Yeah, and shortly after that we got picked up by Elevate. We placed second in ANZ Pro League season 11, which was the last Pro League season, and we were going to go to the APAC LAN to qualify for Brazil, but you know, Rona happened, so plans got put on hold.
In the way.
Unfortunately, we had a bit of a underperforming year for the rest of the year after that second place. Like being fanatical, that was fun, but then.
So are we still? We're still on Elevate, yeah. We're still with
yeah,
Elevate.
still Elevate.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So this is about start 2020.
2020. Okay, so three years on from 2016. 4 years, sorry. Bad math.
Yeah, close enough. Close enough.
Close enough.
Yeah. Who's counting? But yeah, so spent a year there, you know, didn't do too well for the rest of the year. You know, I want to say we got second to last one stage, and that was just, you know, the worst performance we've ever had, and no one, I don't know, it wasn't a great time, but like, we're still pushing through, still trying to improve, and New Year comes around, we're like, screw it, we picked up Morgan.
Yep.
We decided to make a roster change on Hotshot, who was our like IGL at the time, and because Morgan's team, Fisho, I should say, sorry, their team Sinister just
So
disbanded.
who's Morgan? What's their gamer tag?
Fisher guy.
Yeah, cool. Just so
Yeah,
people
yeah.
know.
Just out of habit, I just do that.
Nah, it's all good, man. All good.
Yeah, so pick up more Fisho, and I'm going to do that a lot, I'm sorry.
That's all good, man. Don't worry.
Yeah, so we pick up Fisho, and we have about, I want to say, a week and a half till the season starts. Like, we made this decision last minute. Like,
Damn.
we really didn't give ourselves much time on this move, especially because we had to redesign everything, bring him into our systems, and, like, see what his ideas are. So we kind of just winged it for the first season. We didn't know what we were expecting. Come out, honestly, like, with a pretty solid start, given our prep time. 3rd place in APAC South, that was a playoff spot.
Yep.
Going round for round with Fnatic and CAG, who were some of the top teams at the time in APAC North. And then, honestly, to top it all off, like, winning OCN, Oceanic Nationals. Like, the day that we won that first OCN, everyone was so tired they didn't care.
Yeah.
Like, everyone was playing for, I think, 8 to 9 hours straight. No, everyone just wanted to go to bed.
Yeah.
Nobody cared. No one gave a shit. But, like, I think, for me, that's probably the best moment out of, like, I guess, my whole career. It's like, it was neat. Like, it was the first thing I've ever won in esports.
Yeah.
Or, like, been a part of on a winning team. And it was just, like, going to Sweden was sick, don't get me wrong. But, like, that first one is just special, I guess.
Yeah. You always remember it. And it's so recent as well. It's only 2 years ago. Not even. You know,
yeah.
Year and a half ago.
A year, I'd say.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. So it's crazy. But what gets you into the coaching role? So back in 2016, when that guy asked you, "Hey, do you want to come play with us?" Was that the coaching role, or like
nah,
what happened there?
I was floating around as a player for like in an under 18 scene for a good few years. Like I was gonna try and make it as a player.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I don't know, I just got offered the coaching role on a pro league team, and I was just like, you know what, screw it, I want to try this out. Ended up enjoying it for the most part, even though we sucked.
Yeah.
Like, we just couldn't get things to work on that roster, and, like, that's fair enough. That just happens sometimes. Like, ideas are different, and it's just no clear direction. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
Like, it was all new to me. So, I'd like to think I, you know, picked up some stuff over the years that, you know, evolved from that, but yeah. yeah, I don't know. I just never really looked back. Like I was enjoying it and just didn't consider playing again.
Hey, you know what they say, man. If you can't do, they teach.
Exactly. Yeah. Are you just calling me shit?
No, that's just a saying. It's a saying by someone else, man. You know. Yeah. Anyway.
Gotta have words with them. Gotta have words. Nah.
Gotta have words with them, okay, bro. But what makes what? How do you like get into the coaching role? Like, what makes you sit back and be like, you know what, the way I'm playing, like for you, like may not be up to scratch with other people, but I reckon I can tell people how to do it. Like, how do you have that ability to judge yourself and have people take you seriously when they might be better than you in game?
Honestly, like at the time, me personally, I was doing a lot of strategy creation for like the teams I was on.
Yep.
So like that is like, I don't know, part of a coach's job. On like in many default scenarios, like that's what some teams coaches just do. But like, so I didn't know there was a whole nother side of coaching. I thought coaching initially was just like making strats and telling people what they're doing wrong. But over the years, I've figured out there's a lot more depth to it, like mental, like I don't know, communicating with players, like figuring out what the key issues are, like I don't know, working with them to better, like make sure they're performing to their peak, and I don't know, just ensuring it's a healthy environment.
Yeah,
like there's nothing being left behind, and like honestly, a huge part of that is just I don't know, just how you talk to each other and shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough, man. And
how
what do you
well.
what do you think makes a good coach?
I think that if you, in general, like just leadership, obviously that's like given. They have to either be like, I don't know, they shouldn't be able to like, you know, bend over and just like take what's coming their way. Like they have to be able to stand up what they're saying and back it up, even if it's like not 100% right, because nobody's going to be 100% right, especially in CG sports. Like nobody has all the answers, but you just need to be able to back yourself, back what you're saying, and not back down. Like when you know it's what is right. Like you have to be able to take, listen and take in opinions though. Like you can't just be, it's my way or the high, like it's wrong. But yeah, I think that leadership values and honestly just they're willing to learn.
Yeah.
Like just keep learning as you're going, and because what like a year ago I came in like the org replaced under Elevate, the org replaced the current coach at the time, and I got promoted to coach. It was out of nowhere. Like my only experience with the coach prior was that was strategy shit.
Yep.
And I come in and I'm thrown into the deep end. And I don't know, since then I developed a lot. I picked up a lot more and I started focusing more on like the mental side, like the team aspect over the strategy. And yeah, I think that is actually a really key point of a good coach. Like be able to set the team mood, team dynamic, like make sure the environment's good, and just I don't know, make sure everyone's like playing to the peak, and just being able to talk with players and figure out issues and work through them.
Oh yeah. So with coaching, do you monitor people's diets, how they train, how they practice, all that type of stuff? Are we getting into that type of stuff? Their mental state, you talk to them psychologically wise, you know, like, or do we have separate coaches for that at the moment? Like, what's the go? Are we working towards that direction?
I personally have never touched anything on the diets thing. Like,
yeah,
we had under Chiefs, we were very lucky to get access to a great sports psych, Michelle, pocket psych, and she did mention she did walk through the boys through that aspect a little bit, but it wasn't like you have to eat this. It was like, yeah, this is like what is the best for like peak performance. But for me, obviously, sleep was a big one because like you can't be up all hours a night and then like rocking up on 2 hours of sleep.
Yep,
like it's just not healthy. Like even just like going to bed at like a reasonable time or like just getting enough sleep is the key. But nothing, I don't know, nothing major. I'm not going to go like it's end of the day, it's your body, your performance.
Yep.
If you're able to do it, like fair enough. If you're impacting the team, that's sort of a different story.
Yeah. If you can't perform, you're on the bench. You're warming that bench for someone else. You know, someone else is going to come back, and it's once you're on that back foot, very hard to come back, isn't it? Very hard to come back.
Yeah.
Very. As you're growing up, we all have sporting heroes, and we all look to people. Who are some people that you've looked to throughout the esports scene? Like, do you look at like players? Because myself, I always look at players. You know, I'm looking at Scump, Shotsy, Nade Shot, Crim 6, Formal. You know, I'm looking at those big names. Zuma, you know what I mean? But how about yourself? Like, are you looking at coaches, players, team owners? Who do you look at, man?
I like a classic one's got to be nature. Like, I don't know, just everything he's done for the scene and just like and what he's achieved is insane. Especially what he's done under like creating his own org past 2 years, coming from a player. That's insane. Like, you got to respect that, and like that's somebody you want to look up to. For me, I think there are super talented coaches out there. Like, I'm blanking on names.
Rambo.
Like Shash from G2. Like,
okay.
He's one of the original pioneers of like, especially coaching in Siege. He was one of the first coaches to do it properly.
And what makes him so good?
Like just what people have said about him. Like, he has a mind like no other for the game.
Yep.
Like, and he started doing like all the mental side of stuff before like anyone else really in our scene did. Back when we were small game, like 2,000 viewers on LAN finals. Like, he was putting that stuff first, and then that led to his team winning 2 back-to-back majors.
So are you talking about like when you coach, like you really want to push I know that they always talk about it in Call of Duty. You want to make sure that the comms are right. The comms are what win games, ultimately, to a degree. Obviously, you've got to be able to shoot straight. I obviously watch more COD than Rainbow Six. The only time I watched Rainbow Six, admittedly, was whenever you guys played. That was the only time. Okay, so I was watching it for the first time, like, how's this shit working? You're driving around this little drone, like a little Segway looking thing, like jumping through vents, and then someone's killing someone, and I'm just like, well, they either got to plant the bomb, kill all the people, or defend it, and that's all I can see. And they barricade stuff up. But look, it's you've got to make sure that the small talk. So I've got your back. I'm watching this flank. I'm watching this lane, and then the communication about he's one shot, he's weak, he's there, blah blah. So what are some important key factors in winning a game that you have to implement as a coach?
Well, like you said, like comms, like you can be 5 talented gunners with like mechanical skill, and you could still, you'd find kills, but you need to have the comms to back it up. You need to have clear, concise comms, get all the info across, and not have like too much clutter going on. Also, like keeping them like a bit light, like I don't know, having jokes in there. Like it varies from team to team, but like for us, we found like keeping them light, having jokes, like it helped.
Yep.
But like I've heard comms where like people are yelling over each other.
Yeah.
You can't hear shit.
Yep.
Like how are you supposed to get information across and coordinate when like I don't know, everything's just a fucking mess hall. Like I don't know, it's lunchtime, it's recess.
Yeah, it's just absolute chaos. Like it's not even controlled chaos. It's just chaos. You can't even understand when the analysis and commentators go in for a bit of a deep dive on the comms. You're like, what did I just listen to? It just bit my ears off listening to that. But that leads to my next question. With where do you see now that you've left the Chiefs? Do you mind sharing the story about why you left Chiefs and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, like short story. I want to sort of move on. Like I'm thinking, if I'm gonna stay in esports, I'm looking at like different roles, different opportunities.
Yeah, sure.
I've got a few projects I can't talk about right now. One potentially a coaching gig, another a new side of esports for me, but to be announced. But yeah, I think I just want to move on and try new things. I'm looking to go back to uni because Siege was quite a full-time gig, but I want to go back, finish uni, and then I don't know, figure it out from there.
Oh yeah, man. You can definitely announce it here if you want. Like you can announce once TBA if you want. Like it's only got to be me and a couple other people that find out.
Yeah, I need to practice my phase up logo, like
Here we go. Here we go. You got to practice that. Is it reverse or how's it go on the camera, man?
They haven't told me yet, man. Like I don't know. I'm waiting for the training on that.
I love it, man. I love it. Hey, so you're going back to uni. How? Look, I've never been to uni. Okay, once I finished school, like I went straight into the trade, and I did not miss studying at all.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you're going back to uni, and what are you going to study?
So yeah, when I joined the original Pro League team in 2019, I was full time at uni studying software engineering.
Yep.
So I guess like typical gamer course. I don't know. I decided to step down that for a few reasons. Like I don't know, I just felt burnt out with it. I came off high school, all that, and went straight into uni. And I was sick of studying for that long, so I was like, I want to take a bit of time, just like I don't know, enjoy life for a bit. And I've done that, and now I've realized, I want to go back and finish that. So yeah.
That's fair enough, man. It's definitely something that piques everyone's interest. You know, when you deep dive into it and find out what it's about, you're like, holy shit, man. Like that's exhausting after time. There's so much. There's so many moving fundamental parts to that. It's crazy, man. But nah, look, I wish you all the best at uni, man. That should be good for you. But there's no mental challenge more crazily challenging than coaching the boys. Who is the most problematic on the team? Okay, call them out. Call them out. Who was someone that you had to pull out and say, "Hey, you, come here"?
Nah, honestly, like our team dynamic was really good. Like
That's good.
there was not many people on previous teams. There definitely was not like the Elevate Chiefs roster.
Yeah.
But previous teams I worked with definitely was a few problem makers. Like people deafening up during officials, eating dinner during officials, listening to music and shit. Yeah. So I'm not gonna name names. But yeah, that was the thing.
Are you kidding me, man? And that's for cash, yeah? Or these just qualifiers? Qualifiers are cash.
This was tier 1 in Australia and New Zealand. This was for land
This is
spots.
APAC South, yeah?
Nah, it was the equivalent of APAC South because it was a bit different back then. It was like, yeah, but equivalent of it.
Dude, what the hell, man? I see. I don't get that, man. So many people, and even like, what about when you scrim, dude? When you scrim, like I find that like with Halo and jumping back into Halo and screwing with people in Halo now. But when I was playing like Call of Duty at quite a high level, you play like 2 scrims, just shit on a team, and then they're like, "Oh, I don't want to scrim anymore. See, I got to go." And it's just like you never get the reps in. Was that the same with Rainbow?
Yeah, like full disclosure, APAC isn't a great region to be in, especially for scrimming. Yeah, there is a fair few teams now, but like 2 years ago, not many, and teams you could scrim that were good, you're versing them next week. So you don't want to verse them because there's a lot of depth, and like you don't want to show them what you got, like your strats, and you just don't want to sort of give them anything away. So you're very limited in who you can scrim, and like the teams that you would just stomp occasionally, like yeah, you would be like, I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this, but you have to find some value in scoring them. Like for us, like it was, I don't know, we'd practice like, I don't know, getting entry kills, like slowing things down, playing guns up, like letting them swing us, and we'll just like, I don't know, react off that. Playing like practicing trading off each other. Like you're not gonna be able to practice traditional siege.
Yep.
Or like games and that. So yeah, you just have to find some value in it, even though it's not the best practice. You got to work with what you got.
Yep. That was the hard part that I find, not from first-hand experience, but from second-hand spectator experience when I watch any Australian New Zealand team just go overseas and they in tournaments, like any team that they beat, I'm just like, you get shit on, bro. Like, cop that. Like, we have to go there, learn it, and still beat teams and learn how they play. And like the thing that we have going for us as Aussies is that we're wild cards, man. So people don't really study us because they ego us, correct? They give us the ego, don't they?
I'd say in most esports, yes. I feel like in Siege, especially with how like APAC South works, with the Asian teams, like we're getting a lot more respect nowadays. 3 years ago, hell no.
Yep.
Ever since Fnatic picked up the Australian roster and they did some well internationally, like placing top 8s, like that's when I think APAC and ANZ started to get a bit more respect on the international stage. But yeah, like going to Europe and practicing against those teams, like it's insane the skill level. Like a tier 3 team in Europe we scrimmed, they're like equivalent to some tier 1 teams over here, and it's insane.
That's
like,
crazy, man.
The whole style of the game is different. Like, it's more strategic over here. Like, APAC is, I don't know, probably more mechanical, flashy gunfights than any other region. Maybe LATAM is the only exception to that. But yeah, like, I don't know, it's just refreshing. It was refreshing going over there and just, in my eyes, seeing how Siege should be played.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool. And it would be good for, it'd be tough. Like, as a coach, we had an analyst at Chiefs, we had an analyst, we had yourself, and we had the psychologist, and between you guys would have had to watch and see how they operate overseas as well, and countless hours that you would have been watching through VODs and all that type of stuff, especially leading to Sweden, man. Like, how many hours would you spend like a night, like watching VODs here and there when you could?
That part was more Fisher, like, because I in my opinion, the like fundamentals should be like the core strat should be on the leader of like in game. Like, I'm not there to talk to them. So it should be his vision, not mine.
Yep.
So he would spend, I know he's spent countless hours reviewing like international VODs and like coming up with some ideas and then like implementing them in practice. And like sometimes we'd set a goal towards it. Like me and him would talk, we'd figure out, hey, this is what we need to work on. Or like he saw this and then we'd be like, okay, yeah, let's try this in Scrum.
Yep.
And so like I know he put in probably a couple hours a day. I'd say almost every day he did. Vesho, honestly, was the most dedicated player I've ever had on my team.
Yep.
Yeah, pleasure
No,
to
we
work
love
with
that.
him.
Were any of those boys studying? Because I know that I had digital on like episode 10 or something, but were any of those boys studying as well as digital was, or no?
Nah, so it was only Dig. Originally, when we got picked up by Elevate in 2020, we all deferred for, like, we were saying, like, we'll give it a year.
Yeah.
At the time we signed that and we deferred, we didn't know about Rona. Month later, world's gone on lockdown. So,
Oh no.
you know, yeah.
Oh no.
Sitting inside for 3 months was fun. But yeah, yeah, Dig was the only one studying, and he's not full time from memory, like he's part time.
Yep.
But I'm not sure about the two of the new players. I don't really know them that well, but yeah.
How do the people around you? You go. Keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, it is hard to balance
Yeah.
uni and Siege, and especially like 2 years ago when the top teams weren't even getting paid at all. Working a full-time job, part-time job, studying full-time, and then scrimming for full-time, like doing 40 hours plus a week.
Yep.
Like you had no time for any friends. Like
Yeah.
even now at the top level, it is still hard to find time for like family and friends, but it's a lot better than it was years ago.
Yeah. Well, they'd be getting, like, they don't have to worry about a part-time job. At least they
Yeah,
can
yeah.
worry about just their pro and their study if they need to do the study. But also it comes down to creating content if possible and then playing at the same time if you can do that somehow, because then you don't have to worry about studying and you can kind of set yourself up in the scene, and possibly that leads to casting roles and analyst roles and whatnot in the Siege division or another game, because I know that a lot of people go to different games. So what are your thoughts on that?
I think, yeah, like the point of you have a lot more time to do like other things, uni and potentially even creation is great, especially now there's paychecks going around. Like you have that time, that option. Sadly, Siege is kind of that game. It kind of sucks for content creation, especially streaming. Like if you have a look at Twitch, it barely pulls 10K viewers.
Yeah.
It's usually less. It's like that's due to like stream snipers because there's no real like streaming mode. I believe they implemented one now, but it's just not as thrilling to watch as like something like CS:GO or Valorant. Like you're pretty much always like doing something in CS:GO, Valorant. If you die in Siege, you're gonna sit there for 2 minutes watching a camera, a static angle, and like I don't know what you can just talk to chat. But like if you're not a big streamer, like you're not gonna be having that much interaction. Like. And for like YouTube, it's limited on what you can do. You can like get flashy kills, but it's just a lot harder than games like COD, CS.
Yeah. No, it's definitely hard, and it's definitely the pace is a little bit slower compared to, like you said, Call of Duty. Counter-Strike's obviously way slower than Call of Duty, but yeah, I totally understand what you mean. But moving on to another question, how do your family and friends react to say that, you know, your part-time job or your full-time job, you know, because you defer from study, was to coach in esports?
So yeah, like it was a bit at first, especially when I was like under 18 and like I was working at high school and doing like scrimming every night. It was like they'd give me shit for it because like I wasn't making any money. Like if I made any money, it was probably like $100 over a year because I was playing in like Cyber Game or what became LPL, like silver, something like that. So, but I don't know. It wasn't at that point. It wasn't more about the money or anything. It was more like the passion. It was just the thrill of competing. Like parents definitely didn't understand at that point. They like, I don't know. I feel like it's most parents like, oh, get off the computer, like wasting your life sort of thing. The moment we won our first OCN, like my parents were watching. Like I think that was sort of when they realized, hey, this is sort of a viable thing. I think it was around the same time as Chiefs, so like they actually saw like, hey, there's actually a bit of money in this.
Yeah.
Like I can like live pretty comfortably and like sustain myself for just doing this, and like that's the main thing, I guess. Like having that paycheck, having that sort of validation. Wow, you can actually you can do your own thing. Like
But like the real breaking point for a lot of like I guess more distant mates, like close ones always supported me, like the
Yeah.
real ones.
Absolutely.
But like ones I'm not like as close with, like was probably Sweden.
Yeah.
Like wow, you're going like Europe tour, like gaming. Like I don't know, that's still a weird thing to say. Still, I don't know. When I was talking to the customers first, kind of felt embarrassed. I don't know, it's weird. I just hate saying,
Embarrassed? Come on, man. You got to wear that shit with pride. You sit there with your jersey. We're a multi-million-dollar biggest esports team in the fucking country, bro.
fucking oath. Nah, it just feels weird saying, oh yeah, I'm here to game. It's just weird.
Fucking game on, bro.
Oh, bloody oath.
Oh, that's funny, man. Hey, back to the money thing, okay?
Yeah.
Give me a range, okay, for an average pro player. What do they get paid? You know, we're going for...
We're talking Australia, or we're talking like more overseas?
Okay, we'll start with, what does the average Rainbow Six Siege player get paid in Australia, New Zealand, and then we'll go overseas. Give me a range.
I'll keep it broad because you know.
Keep it broad.
Don't yeah.
Don't want to break the NDAs.
Depending on your team, depending on your level, if you're in South, maybe probably Australian Siege player, 1,500 AU to 3.5 grand maybe.
Per year?
Nah, per two.
Per two?
Per 2 years. Nah, per month. It's not bad. It's pretty respectable.
Wait,
and then you got
did you say per year or per 2 months?
I thought you said per year. I thought you.
No.
I was like, huh? No,
per
yeah,
year.
per month. Yeah, per month.
Okay, yep. Okay.
Nah, 3 grand a year. That's livable.
Yep.
Yeah. Go down.
What about overseas?
Every day. Overseas, looking upwards of 5K in their respective currency. It's a lot more lucrative overseas, especially like they've had more time to develop as regions, bigger fan bases, you know, so they're going to do well.
Everything else, yep.
But in-game sales of their skins,
yeah.
Does
Chiefs has their own skin as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, okay. And is it like Call of Duty League where everyone gets a royalty from the whole sales of all the pro team skins sold, or does that team get the money from their skins being sold?
So it's team specific. Yeah, it's team specific, and a portion of that is guaranteed to go to players and support staff.
Okay. So it gives you incentive to push it.
Yeah. Like I benefit directly from everyone like buying the skin.
Yeah.
So do the rest of the boys. Like, and another good thing about the skins in Siege, like COD's so far behind with this. Like they're just generic copy and pasted patterns.
Yeah.
Siege, the orgs have creative freedom to like go out and actually design their own skins. Like Elevate did like an anime style comic book skin.
Yep.
Like I don't know, Chiefs did like a street art style skin.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's just heaps of cool stuff. Like Fnatic went down the Japanese route, like they're marketing towards the Japanese fans.
Yep.
Like they're building down that. Like there's just so much potential there.
Yeah, I don't get why Call of Duty doesn't do that. Like it's been around for so long, and Call of Duty it started with Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 back in 2007. And dude, like, why do they not have customization? Like, you know, bring it to that. Like it started there with the creator class and the gun camos and all that, with gold and stuff. Like, holy shit, having a gold AK, dude. That was more.
Yeah.
That was a better flex than having like a 99.95 ATAR, bro. You know what I mean? Like, that thing was the golden ticket through club doors, bro.
Walk into class with a pack of gum, same thing.
Yeah,
everyone wants to be a mate. Got a gold AK.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Everyone wanted your signature. They wanted it.
Yeah.
They were coming up with a Sharpie. Sign it.
Yeah.
But they had like even Halo. Like Halo's getting more. Like I know that Optic and Cloud9 and Sentinels and E United actually helped design some of those skins in Halo. So like I just don't get why Call of Duty, which is a franchise league, which costs 25 million USD just to get your team spot, let alone the overheads, don't allow you to do that. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's a bit whack to say the least. Like you think maybe first year after the franchise league, like fair enough.
Yeah.
Like that's just setting up, but it's 3 years into it now. I haven't paid too much attention to Black Ops.
Yep.
4, but like I don't know. It's just they're behind the curve. The games, from my understanding, has been on a bit of a downward spiral past 2 years. So I don't know. They need to do something to like bring back fans.
Yeah,
And I
I
think
feel
like
you,
that'd
man.
be a solid starting point, like a way to actually properly support your team.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. So you haven't watched Call of Duty since 2018, then Black Ops 4.
Yeah, I was really into the 100 Thieves run back then.
Oh yeah, that was a good
Yeah.
team. That was a good
That-
team.
That was a banger team.
You had
Yeah.
Priestar, Octane, Kenny,
Enable.
and there was one more. It was 5.
Slasher.
Slasher, yes.
Yeah.
That
And
was
the,
a
and
good
the
team.
Goats. And the Goats, James Crowder.
Oh, it was Crowder.
Yeah.
I'm pretty
Actually,
sure-
that's another esports legend, Crowder. Another
Crowder?
esports legend.
Have you met Crowder
Yeah.
before?
Nah, never
Does he
never
follow
met
you?
him, but like, nah.
Oh, dude,
But he might have to,
might have to.
Yeah. However you do it. I haven't done training. Haven't done the training yet.
Haven't done the training, man. Haven't done the training.
Yeah.
It's there. But he's definitely got a good team there. I don't know if you
Hmm.
actually follow it briefly or see it come up on in your timeline, but FaZe has been the champions for the past couple of years, man. They're a very talented team that they have going on there, man.
Yeah, the Tiny Terrors over there.
Yeah. You've
Yeah.
got the Tiny Terrors. You got Arcides. He's just banging it. But dude, this year, look, I don't know. Once again, I don't know if you've been watching, but this year the Green Wall is coming strong, and you probably already know that I'm a Green Wall fan, massive fan. Just you might have seen a couple of my posts here and there, a couple of passion posts.
Hey,
the
I respect
PPs.
it. Should we go
But-
put on our optic jerseys?
Yeah, we should.
Go support yeah, support the boys.
I'm just wearing the Chiefs on for now because we got that's what
Go
that's what's close to us right now.
Exactly, yeah. Got a rep.
But they've been smacking at the boys in green. Have you seen that LAN event that they had in Texas?
Nah, haven't seen
The
it.
crowd was feral. I loved it. It was the best. Like the crowd was
Jeez.
nuts. Like you look at it as literally the green wall. Was there any of that like in Sweden for when you went to that LAN for Rainbow Six?
Yeah, bit of a sore story in Siege right now. We haven't had a LAN with crowd in 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, even though there was potential in Sweden for both Sweden Major and the Six Invitational, which was moved to Sweden.
Yep.
They were allowing crowds in Sweden, but no crowd. It really sucked. It would have been, I don't know, just such a cool experience to be like on stage with the crowd in front of you. Like, I don't know, I can just only imagine that's like a once in a lifetime feeling, really.
Oh yeah, man. Have you ever coached at because Rainbow Six Siege was at Melbourne Esports Open. I'm pretty sure in 2019. I think was it?
Yeah, it was. This is a sore spot for me. It was actually
Were you
the
coaching?
current Chiefs roster that beat us to get there.
Oh no.
Yeah,
That's
sore
right. And
spot.
you were saying before that you had to get one win to qualify or whatever.
Yep.
Oh man.
I blame God Legion for that loss. He single-handedly was destroying that day.
Yeah. Okay. That's a big rip in the chat. How do you reckon the Chiefs boys are going to go this year? New
I've got hope
roster.
for them.
Who's the
Like-
coach?
Todd. So he was actually a former player on the roster like 2 years ago.
Shit. Okay.
Yeah, so circles back around. Everyone comes back.
They come back.
But yeah,
Crawling back.
yeah, exactly. But no, like I reckon they'll do solid. Boydie and Bouncin, solid players. Like Boydie's nuts mechanically. Bouncin, we actually trialed Bouncin like twice prior.
Yep.
But we picked up, I believe, like Fisher and Ethan, who were insane pickups.
Yep.
So like he just got it bit out by somebody who'd like just had that experience. Like Ethan has been to Six Invitational. Fisher was like the leader we needed. So, like he only just got bit out, and I'm glad to see he's finally on the team.
Yeah. Good.
Would have hated for them to troll him for a third time and not pick him up.
Oh no. It would have.
Just teasing him a little bit at that point.
So he's like that evil villain that like doesn't get the
Yeah.
opportunity, and then he just he's just like the kryptonite to the team whenever they come up against. So
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel you on that one, man. That's good. It's promising. I know the boys, they went down a couple of days ago, 5-7 in the scores, but
Yeah.
they came back strong this week with I think it was a 6-1
7-0.
or 7-0. 7-0.
Yeah.
There we go.
Cleanest result. First one of 2020. Like, gotta respect that.
I'll take it. 2022. I'll have to call you
Oh,
on that.
sorry.
But
Oh
Sorry.
shit. Maybe I can't count.
there we
It's
go,
gotta be
baby.
years. Yeah.
I got you, man. I got you. But
Shit.
look, man, is there any closing words you really want to say? One thing I actually want to ask is that who would you confidently beat in a 1v1 in Siege?
Oh, I got to call him out here. Old Isaiah Vast, old teammate.
Yep.
Get me in the 1v1 server with him. Let's go.
Easy. Just
can-
ease
you can-
clap.
Yeah, you can cast it. It'll be a breeze. 10 minutes in and out.
Just shit on him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
old,
just let him retire on that. uninstalled
Yeah.
the game
38 with 2 kids. Like, I don't know. He's in the retirement home now.
in the village,
Yeah, legit.
getting
I'm
his
still
mashed
young.
potato and jelly brought to him every night.
Legit.
But dude, do you have any closing words before we head off for the podcast?
No, just cheers for having me on. It was good to have you on. And yeah, I don't know. Keen to sort of see where you and the boys on Chiefs go.
Hey, I'm keen to see where you go, man. Best of luck for the aspirations. If you guys reckon that you know where Paddy's going, then put it in the comment section below. Let me know. You know, chuck it in there. Have a guess. Maybe that FC is happening. The FaZe Clan. Who knows? But we'll have to stay tuned, stay up to date with the socials. And what are your socials so people can keep up to date with that?
At WARTURTLE R6 on all platforms: Twitter, Twitch, OnlyFans.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Jeez, we're getting fucking saucy, you menace, hey? Look at you going fucking red right now, man. Love it. But look, one last question before we head off. Where do you keep your butter, buddy? In the fridge or the pantry?
Okay, I want to know who keeps in the pantry. Who said that?
I keep in the pantry personally. And some other people do.
Nah, I've got to end this now. I can't talk to you.
You can't even talk to me? Can't even talk to me? Mate, I'm just saying, when you get a fresh steaming loaf of bread and you get that thing out of the fridge and you try to like put that butter on the bread straight out of the fridge, it just balls up, man. It's just not a good experience.
Yeah, but it's like,
Did you know that one of his mates gets his mate's mum gets the butter out of the fridge for him an hour beforehand and lets it defrost on the bench. Gets it out so it gets a little bit softer. And I'm like, are you kidding?
He's got to be
he's being serious. And you know what? You know what happened, bro? He said, yeah, and I've started doing that too. And I'm like, you fucking loser.
Oh, bloody hell.
Fucking digital, bro. Loser.
I gotta respect it.
Okay, man. Okay, and with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to keep up to date with it on all the socials of GFreak Speaks, as well as my boy Paddy WARTURTLE Gleeson for coming on the podcast. Thank you so much for your time. But this podcast can be found on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube for the visuals, as well as Audio Boom, which will direct you to your best platform. But until then, remember to be safe, stay swell, and as always, boom, baby. See ya.
Peace.